ESL One Cologne Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GGBet.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne. We're on to map number 2 of mousesports versus NaVi, and we're going to be heading to train. It's a favourite map of both of these teams. And on mute before the break, NaVi failing to kind of find ideas on their T-side, Hugo.
Yeah, I think it's worth noting that in history, when we look at NaVi versus mousesports as a matchup, and this has been a rivalry for some time, NaVi have actually never beaten mousesports or Nuke over 4 games. We saw that stat earlier on there. And if you flip the script, you look at Train, with the exception of the Gamers Without Borders, which was a charity event, MR12, so we can put an asterisk on it. In the 3 games NaVi versus Mouse on Train, mousesports never been beat NaVi. So I think this really sets us up for a 3-map series. That being said, Rops is looking to do everything in his power to deny that.
Yeah, and something else, Ray, is that Woxic was looking really good as well. He finished second for Mouse, and, you know, I think now getting to see Woxic versus Simple, with us already knowing that Woxic is playing well, makes this a very exciting game of trade indeed. We're ready to get this second map underway. That's what the music means. It's Train, it's NaVi, it's Mouse, and mousesports sit 1-0 up right now.
Here we go, lads. Here we go.
CT side start for mousesports, where all things are good and comfortable. Couple of smokes as well. Zeus on Robs. This is mad. What is this buy? He's going to sit close to ramp with the Zeus. We see him here with the Deagle a lot on low economy rounds, because you can just spam it and do 50 and 2 and take down players with only a couple of shots. But with a Zeus in the pistol, that is a bit of a gamble. I love to see it.
That's so weird. Like, I like it, but that means that, like, what, Chris J's dropped it over?
Yep.
That's so odd, man. Dropping a Zeus in the pistol. I mean, I want it to work because it's mad, but it definitely shouldn't. And I'll be kind of upset if it does, especially if NaVi never even hit the B site, which certainly looks like it's going to be the case right now. It's going to be NaVi creeping in through Ivy and Main. It's going to be a bit of a pain here. Simple on the entry. Flash goes round. Carrigan's off the angle. Going to try and take that back up now. Spots Electronic, but he doesn't know that Simple is already out. And Electronic dispatches of Carrigan with ease. Frozen is over here in pop, while Rops is dropping in up above, but actually gets dropped himself by Flamey. And now they've just heard that USP.
Tried to go back up.
He tried to, but he couldn't reach the ladder. And down goes Chris J. Frozen falls. And NaVi, they get the pistol.
Despite that bit of a blunder from Flamey, that's an excellent start from Electronic. He picks up the P2K after that kill down Ivy and just tip-taps Carrigan back, and one more to follow. NaVi with a pistol round certainly bodes well, but we've already seen this same situation on the T side of Nuke. Well, mousesports, they forced sport in the second, and they picked it up as well, so don't count them out here, Frankie.
I'm going to count them out on this one.
Hey, you know, that's your funeral, and maybe NaVi's too. We'll have to see.
It is my funeral indeed, actually, because we've seen Mouse, they've got the trademark Deagles in hand. Woxic doing amazing things on that scout in the conversion round in the first map, so maybe I'm going to be eating my words just about now.
So damn close. So damn close. The timing was almost there, Frankie. We all heard it. We all saw it. But sadly, the aim punch there was what betrayed Woxic. As he's about to nail that shot, his aim gets sent to the stars. Well, Stralis nowhere to be found. Chris J not going to give us a Bobski-esque performance over here in pop either, as it's a bit of a barbecue. Flamey burning him out, living up to his name. Carrigan does come in with a Deagle in response, and now we have this 4-on-4. Smoke going into the ace site, and one down here at Ivy. That nade finds good damage. Simple goes through the smoke and actually wraps into CT. mousesports are surely not going to be ready for that, so Simple could do a hell of a lot. He deals with Woxic. I didn't know if Frozen was looking up or down then. I thought he was looking at the sky. That was confusing.
Wow. It's not very blue out here in the train yard, sadly. It's a murky day.
Ooh, well, frozen. Murky waters as he sits up in heaven. But this man is looking to be anything but angelic. As the first drop, followed up onto by Boomich. And this round's over, Hugo.
Yeah, I'm already starting to see good stuff from NaVi, which I liked, right? Like that CT side was pretty decent back on Nuke, but their T side is what fell flat with only 2 rounds. So kicking off with early T rounds, grasping the economy, hopefully going 3-0 up here, considering mousesports should be eco. You know, this is NaVi back in control of this map, at least for the time being. Remember, Dust 2 is the finale to this series. Very good map for NaVi as well. So the pressure is on mousesports to take a 2-0 here. Not going to be that easy, though. Yeah, Chris, I'm not sure what happened. He had a smoke for the molly. I think he's just expecting someone to peek him with that Molotov while he's burning. He's making a lot of noise and hoping that, okay, if I get peeked, I kill one, I die in the fire, that's fine. That's a good trade on a round like that. But, yeah, never to be peeked, and instead he just gets roasted. 2-0 for NaVi, and the USPs are out and about. Oh, this is a classic.
I wonder if that's a tactic that Chris J used from like his mentor, Parla Gilroyson, actually. I think I've seen him do that molly strat in pop before. We got a little stack here.
Okay.
That's pretty, well, I was going to say pretty cool. It's just like 4 dudes standing together having a good time. Now, are they going to continue to have a good time? That's the problem, right? Electronic is here, and he's going to get flashed in by, oh goodness, oh.
You've got 2 playing anti-flash.
This is going to be rough. Flash goes in, no peek yet. Now they're all on the angle, and they're like, ha ha, yeah, we dodged the flash, but that might not matter. That might not matter. Oh, goodness. Well, they do get one. It's nice. Now they dismantle it. They swarm, they group up, but you have to run the gauntlet versus Electronic, and he's not going to let you retrieve this rifle. Down goes the stack, and it's only Rops left. Eagle in hand, 1v4. Pretty tall odds stacked against him. I love his Deeg. That's the code red right there. See if he's got any agency in this round.
NaVi is stalling, so Flamey could go grab that AK-47 off the body of Simple, upgrading from the SMG, but now they know exactly where he is. Bomb dropped, smoke down, not the best smoke. If anything, that's like a walkway for Robs to get out into pop, or at least that side, but of course he doesn't know that no one from NaVi lurks there. Not keen to rush this one as the bomb plant eventually comes through. Another on top of the train. Maybe he spotted it, maybe it was cooled, but it's now been put away anyway. I'm pretty sure someone will have said that. Player in heaven and another one on the wraparound to deny a save. This is a done deal for Robs. He just doesn't know it yet. It's all about how many can he take down with him. And honestly, he's buying up next round anyway, so this Deagle save won't really make a damn difference. He's hoping that someone hunts him, and he can get an AK instead. And he's going to run into the site. Nice shot. Takes down Flamey. No time for the bomb. He will perish. But that's a good round for Robs. He does some damage. He puts NaVi only on 2 surviving, and so technically not too profitable of a round for them. But they don't need it to be. The money is in high supply for Natas Vincere, as it is for mousesports. Carrigan coming back in with an AUG. This is a bit of a classic. We love to see him, and back Ivy in Old Bomb with this weapon scoped in towards the site. And of course the AWP out on Woxic as well.
I'm going to see if Woxic can keep up his nuke performance, because he was looking good there. And Simple hadn't really had a lot of time to like get stuck in with the AWP yet. You want to catch Simple as he's approaching that near demonic form that we're used to. You know, you don't want to let him get into his final stage of evolution before you take him on. Woxic, he's posted up over here towards main. Frozen this time down in a pop. That molly forces him back, but Frozen, living up to his name, isn't going to melt under the pressure of that Molotov, and he's allowed to stick around here. Carrigan, close to the smoke, dealing with Electronic. That's the Ivy player gone now. While this is happening, Flamey and Boomich are slowly but surely looking to get a bit of progress in at B, and they actually get spotted, or at least Flamey does. Rop's here as well, and Boomich saw him on the ladder, definitely did. But he gets flashed by his teammate, almost a disaster. Chris J flashing over in the meantime leads to Rop's going down. Chris closing the distance, deals with Boomich. Frozen's up through pop. This round is chaotic Frozen now is either the thing that makes or breaks this round. Oh, there's the flick on a Perfecto. That's what he needed. He was getting wrapped. And now he's got this bomb trapped outside of B. They boost Simple up to try and deal with Frozen. But he's hidden back in the showers, raining down death right now. Flamey falls and Simple down through Pop Dog. Bomb on his back, 20 seconds left. Carrigan, long distance shooting, and he's going to pick it up. So mousesports, they get that first round on the board here and now, nice and early.
Oh, that's excellent stuff. That's like so akin to what we saw yesterday from Bubsky and S-Tag, you know, climbing up the ladder and Pop Dog being a nuisance, getting in the back line and cutting off the bomb. Even though, you know, the bomb had already made its way to B Halls, mousesports had that info. They'd won the first fight, they'd lost the first fight there and therefore rotated double players into B. NaVi knew they were walking into a stack. They tried to escape through Pop Dog. It gets denied by Carrigan. Messy. But he gets the job done. NaVi calling out their first pause early into this map as well. They know their economy is also on the line. Simple getting gifted an orb. There's not a lot they can buy up around it. A couple of guns at most. So NaVi already looking to put that orb in the right hand. Simple last round was setting up flashbangs to try and help out his pop player of Boomich, who was attempting to burn out Frozen, but unsuccessful thanks to his smoke. The early utility really found nothing. If anything, it came back to haunt NaVi later with a ladder flank. So let's see if Simple goes a little more aggressive and tries to take kills away with his AWP. He's moving up Ivy earlier. Woxic is holding the line with his orb. Very standard angle for Woxic. Carrigan close towards T-Con as a result. Simple's going to get run boosted in.
Alley-oop. Over he goes. Woxic on the other side. And a smoke down. A no-show to Simple and Woxic just yet. Perfecto. Oh, not ready for the repeat from Frozen. Now that you've seen Frozen, though, in main, you know that Pop is likely clear. This is normally his domain. They drop down into it, but he follows up with a nade, and so that's going to send them packing from Pop Dog. Still with this 2-2 split for Mouse, but eventually approaching the kind of timeline where they reconsider that, and they move Chris J back in through CT to hold on to Ivy. That frees up Frozen and Woxic to hold on to main and Pop. Ooh, we're going to need to see something special here. Frozen close, playing almost in like this anti-flash with Woxic drawing the attention away, and then Frozen close by, but Simple is ready. Fast on the trigger. Woxic plucking Boomich out of thin air. 30 seconds now for Simple if he wants to have a chance in this round. And he's leaving the bomb. He's running for the hills. He's getting away. He's holding on to the orb. So mousesports, they respond with a second round.
That's a heartbreaker for Simple as well. That first player who jumps through the air, crosses in main, and Woxic kills, clearly must have got the info onto that close position for Frozen, because Simple immediately repeats it. Or maybe he's just very aware. That's also an option. But yeah, it seemed like he had that information, and one trade from Simple, but unfortunately not enough. One of the 2 kills NaVi get in the round, and right now they are falling silent since their early 3. The money matching that as well. 2K a player with the exception of Simple. And yeah, definitely Flamey saw Frozen up close, especially with his barrel poking out. Great shots from Woxic Carry. You mentioned that he was looking good back on Nuke. We didn't really need him to do a whole lot with the orb, but here he is coming alive at the right time. Simple solo saved a WP with no cash in the reserves, has to do it all here if NaVi want any chance. It's pretty much the right round to hit B, send Simple flying down the ramp, or have him holding upper to assist on connector rotates. He might actually get a peek in here. Rops is playing aggro on the rafters, but not swinging just yet. Let's see how patient he is. No utility at all for NaVi. And of course, you know, if Woxic takes a shot, regardless of hit or miss, Rops can peek off the back of it. So it's down to whether Simple continues to hold this line. He has repositioned the barrel. Oh, it's going to give him away. Luckily enough, Flamey takes the shot in the legs. Rops peeks out and kills the one man with the armor. Orb traded over to Boomich, and Rops falling off for a second. He gets traded after one more, but he set his team up for success in a 4-on-3.
Boomich going to try this shotgun drop? That's what I'm wondering. No, he decides against it. He was walking towards Pop Dog. I thought it was with purpose, but I think that's pretty ballsy. He takes it back over towards B. Chris J and Woxic still here. That orb. ready and waiting in Woxic's hands, and it's always so scary when he's the man with it. Pretty big boots for Boomich to fill. Oh, here comes the push. Chris J's heard the footsteps. Missed shot from Woxic, and now he could be a bit of a liability, but Woxic always been able to save the day. Double kill, still alive, and Woxic with 3. P2K, he holds on to B, single-handedly misses with the AWP, but the fact that they're armorless, it isn't eco for NaVi, means he deals with them brilliantly, and that's always the danger, right? No matter if you're getting a couple of kills here and there, you don't have the right equipment to sustain that kind of fight. And so Woxic swapping out to the sidearm, pistol whips NaVi out of the round.
Yeah, this is like the 1v1 we had yesterday between Nork and Alexi B, maybe on the B side of Train. The lack of armor for Chris is also a problem. He has no helmet, so dinked immediately by Perfecto. Wow, talking of immediate, look at this play from NaVi. They've finally done it. We were waiting for the quick A rush, and the results are there. All it took was guns in their hands and bullets in the head on mousesports. Frozen whiffing the spray, and with that, the round might follow in favor of NaVi. Nice shot from Robs, but is it all too late? You see NaVi already fanning out towards that B bomb site. Robs is trying to rotate, but they're already here. Simple hunting him down. Robs knows he can hear them inside of B, but he has his back turned. Oh dear, almost a whiff, but luckily, knife in hand, Robs can't react in time. Simple hunts down the AWP and saves it for himself. Big play from NaVi. Yeah, they'd had enough of waiting around, Harry, and going for these split plays on the A site or grouping for B executes. They just had to have the utility, right? Molly on the bomb train forces, lots of players into the open. Boomich getting that kill as the smoke on Ivy appears. Great entries from NaVi. Are they going to do it again, though?
They throw the same utility, and they try and make it look like they're going with the same pace, but they're not in this round. Like, they're starting to actually clear outside of B. So this might just be a B play, especially with Flamey dealing with Rops down towards B ramp. Molotov going to force Frozen back out of Pop Dog. Once again, he's given a little bit of room here. Might be wondering why he drops the smoke, what feels like early, even though he's fine. It's not uncommon for as that Molotov finishes, like the moment it finishes, teams then try and immediately drop, expecting you, to be ready with some kind of utility there, or like we see Frozen doing, like stood with the smoke out. So they try and catch you. Plus you think about someone like Alexa B yesterday, where he just hops down through the Molotov.
I love that play. When you drop in your teammate's molly, it's so smart. It's taking less damage than your own, and the last thing your opponent's expecting. So many genius ways of taking Pop Dog. I mean, if you want to see more of that Astralis game yesterday versus Fnatic is certainly worth a rewatch, but right now we might see a little bit more from mousesports in this one. Carrigan in the corner, letting one cross, and Boomich going down. He's getting pinched from Ivy though, and now the rest of the Olaf players are just waiting for that flank to come through. Electronic needs to pounce right here, right now, and he does, leaving the AWP alone on the site. Rotations coming in from the CT spawn, and out the connector is Chris. Woxic bested by Simple's AWP in the face, and Chris, he's come very quickly off of B. Perfecto spots him, and Simple swings wide, swapped out to the AK for great success. That bomb almost gets stopped with 8 seconds to spare. That could have been the round from Frozen. Low HP on the plant of Perfecto, but it's not going to happen, and neither will this clutch, surely, especially with flashes like that. Frozen might have to fall away and live to fight another day.
That's such a shame for Chris J, right? Like, I love the way that Chris J, we all know what he is capable of when he's just fragging out, but so often you'll see him try and win a round just through outbraining the opposition, and that's exactly what he was trying to do there. He tries to play the timing, like knowing there's going to be about 8 seconds as that bomb tries to go down in the A bomb site. And so he wraps around the back of Brown. He's trying to wait for the plant, but he just gets seen. Like the leg of him as he gets behind the train is spotted by Perfecto, as you say. And then they're homed in on him, ready to go. So yeah, shame to see it fall apart like that, especially with the kills coming through. Obviously, Simple besting Woxic helped massively there in terms of actually getting NaVi into the site in the first place. And I bet for these folks, they're pretty happy that NaVi were able to pick that one up.
Just the Electronic peeking around the corner again, showing his smile. NaVi got a reason to smile. They're back in control, not just of the map, but the economy as well. mousesports are broke. Robs has got the Zeus once more. Chris is going atop the trains. He's going to get spotted and drop off. Electronic leading the hunt, and he's taking down the one man with armor and the SMG saved from the last. Chris is hiding in the smoke, but as that fades, he'll be up on the chopping block. He's going to try and play ahead of it, get aggressive. Caught now in sandwich with the wrap from Boo, which he is removed. Simple holding the flank, and no stone unturned here for NaVi. That Zeus looking like it's going to have very little effect, if anything. Coming down the pop, Carrigan, he almost has a chance to kill Simple on low HP. Robs is waiting for someone to come up the ladder, but no mistake being made here from NaVi. They are not going to fall for that one.
Who's more patient then? Who's more patient? Let's see. Robs. I mean, you've already waited all round, right? Like, what's an extra 40 seconds?
See, Flamey has nothing to lose, right? I know he's a Mac 10, but he'll probably want to upgrade that going into a rifle round anyway, so there is a world where he can go up the ladder and not really care about the result, but not today. And sadly, oh my, that is...
Oh, we love this camera angle. We love this one.
They hit the ladder, and they take him down. No Zeus antics for now. It will happen eventually. Can't stop the inevitable.
That's Robs' second time with it.
Both times NaVi have gone A.
Third time. Third time's the charm, boys. It's gonna happen. Excuse me, fans, put your clothes on camera.
Showing up to the broadcast with no shirt on. Nice necklace, I guess. But
I mean, he's hiding his nips with his arms. He's got an arm bra going on. But I'm sorry, sir. If I'm not allowed to, you're not either.
Oh, dear. Banned. Oh, perfecto. Fast out of Pop Dog. He took the spawn. There was no one there this time. Frozen was too busy watching main and trying to save his teammate. Late to the party, but in with double trades. And he's even going to go aggressive on 10 points of health. Big risk for Frozen. Eventually realizing and backing up towards the bomb train, using that E-box smoke to his advantage. NaVi have slowed down. They're checking close. Flamey seems to suspect, and rightly so. If only he was a few seconds earlier. Chris is tucked in heaven. This is such a good position for holding that one pop player down when not being exposed to anyone else. There's even a player on the bomb site. I don't know if he saw Electronic there, but Electronic is creeping closer, finding Woxic down old hell. He even escapes as well.
Still creeping forward and Simple. Oh no, Chris J, I'm so sorry, man. He's just a little too wide and he was spotted by Simple. Now Frozen inside of the bomb site, desperate to reclaim that lost man. Robs is still all the way back in con. And
Simple, leg.
Simple, behind you. No,
baby.
Frozen, there's one. But Electronic trades just in the nick of time. Bomb now planted. Flamey spotted in Pop Dog. They know that the other man is inside of the site, so Robs has the information. He knows what's going on now. He's just got to hit the shots, and Electronic swings on out, secures it with a triple. NaVi 7-3, and you can see why Train is a good map for them.
Great attempt from Frozen. Look at these fast flicks that he's been providing in this series so far. But I love the slowdown for NaVi, right? Once they get into that 3-on-4, they just kind of wait and sit in the yard. mousesports don't want to peek because they know that how many players could be outside for NaVi. And so kind of just tuck into spots. Chris gets caught from E-box. Simple spots him. He doesn't see the feet of Frozen on the site, but luckily Frozen's too low to actually kill the planter. There's a world where he wins the round off the back of that play. But yeah, 10 points of health. Player on the bomb plant gets off it. One bullet is all he needs, and it's going to break the money of mousesports here. Back to Deagles. We've seen them do this before, though.
Unlucky. Gets smoked off over an Ivy as they stack two players up. Carrigan's going to get thrown up on the boost. Flash goes over. This is not an angle you're checking, surely, right? Electronic swings out, does get blindsided. Chris J tries to go through to capitalize and ends up giving up his life. Carrigan with the dig. What can he offer us now? He's going to reposition safely back into the bomb train. A bit more safety here for him. And safety's off, jury's out. What can Carrigan do here? ultimately not going to be a hell of a lot. He gets taken down by Boomich. And now for Frozen and Robs, these two struggle to play into this one very much. Looking like it will just be exit frags for mousesports.
That's if they're allowed. Simple's hunting. Robs is looking the wrong way. Oh, that's a lovely little spot. Tucked in. Now, swing is going to work wonders. AK dropped. You can't go and retrieve that because those lines are being watched by NaVi, but that's a great kill from Robs. Frozen, he's got so much more. He told Robs to tug because he's got a double. They line up, and Frozen might find a third. This round is still winnable after all. Is there time? I don't think so. And with that kill going in the way of Perfecto, this one is done and dusted. But all the kills for mousesports. Talk about exit frags.
When Frozen was beginning that long wrap, I was like, wow, this might be a bit underwhelming. But no, he waits and he lines them both up. That is unreal. Patience is a virtue, and patience is something this guy is high in supply. Look at that. He's like, oh, I ain't missing this. Boom, there's one for the highlight reel. Clip it. I knew we'd get a cheeky laugh from Chris. Of course. Oh, man, you got to love Chris J.
Wow. NaVi, though, okay, yeah, they lose all their guns, but they still win the round. They still have the money for reinvestments. Flamey, he's been taking his AWP over Simple in some of these rounds. You know, typically in the post-spawns, they've been swapping out. That's interesting to see. He's going to get dropped by the Rops, though, above the train, close on B. Doubling down. Nice start. That's going to leave NaVi in such a rough spot. Train is a map where you really just struggle at getting out of these 3-on-5s. If you lose early gunfights, especially when it's not like, you know, you're rushing A, so at least you have some position, you have some control, and you get players out Olaf or towards the E-box. No, NaVi is still in spawn, and they're 2 men down with only 2 bits of utility. Like, this is the worst case scenario. So there's really not a lot you can do. Mousesports can fan out a bit. They have control on A. They can play double B. And the AWPs are split. There's 3 of them now for Mousesports. Like, boy, oh boy, it's getting worse by the second for NaVi. And these are the rounds that I just don't know how you're supposed to win with how well Mousesports can trade in this site. Smoke down the ramp can give NaVi a chance, but they're just going to go in dry. Simple gets legged, but they will be able to cross to the site.
Yeah, they are closing the distance. They're looking to deal with these players out from Con as they get up through the lane. Carrigan smoked off now. Going to try and play around it. Flash goes high. Carrigan goes through. Catches Perfecto. Does get traded by Simple, but it's still a huge advantage for Mouse. And now that they've dealt with Electronic, Simple is left in a very, very rough spot. 1v4. He needs the kills, and Woxic holding down the angle. It's 4 on the board for Mouse. As they finally piece together a round, they're going to be in high spirits after that one, because that's pretty one-sided there. And a bit of money now banked on up, which can make all the difference, really, between just getting dictated to at the end of this half and having yourself, you know, in that, like, 11-4 scoreline and actually being able to recover.
Not just the money, the equipment. They saved 3 AWPs. I thought they picked it up because Rops got tagged and he had an AWP dropped at the bottom of ramp from Flamey. I thought he'd trade it back out. Like, again, it could be a communication issue, but I don't think so. More likely than not, they chose to save it. We saw Astralis do that yesterday with 2 AWPs on A and S-Tag running the 3rd AWP on B. That was, you know, in overtime when they had the money, but that's kind of crazy to see. So, yeah, let's see how this goes. I'm all for it. Carrigan, please buy armor. Please.
Come on, Carrigan. Realize.
Not like this, Carrigan.
Legend, tell him. Someone,
no.
Please.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Okay.
Just need someone in Twitch chat to just remind him of that, boys.
I'm worried, man. I don't think the messages are getting through. Maybe if we say it really loud. Carrigan! He's not hearing. He's not listening. And here's Simple down through Pop. Rops opens up with a kill on a Flamey. Maybe this no armor's not going to matter after all. We're going to have to wait and see. Simple faking the ladder noise, trying to bait a peek. Double AWP set up, aggressing in through B. This is very unorthodox. Yeah. Boomich on the other side. Woxic going to take this first shot. It misses. Rops follows up, and that double AWP at B sends NaVi packing. Simple now. Out from Pop Dog, sneaking into the front line. Spots Frozen, but that information goes both ways. And Carrigan up on top of the train. He gets taken down. Simple with the kill, but it's still a 2-on-4. Overwhelming odds stacked against NaVi. It's Perfecto and Simple. Gonna have to fight tooth and nail back into the round, but look at Frozen. Look at this wrap that he is embarking on right now. He could shut the whole thing down. Simple gets another. Frozen might have just missed the timing. I think he heard the footsteps. I think he knows. There's Simple getting dealt with, and now just Perfecto. They fall, and it is a 5th for mousesports.
Frozen got yoinked as well. He didn't get that last kill. Chris took it away. He took both down Olaf from back Ivy. Carrigan is actually just playing massive brain 400 IQ chess because he got killed by the AWP. He knew it was coming. No armor needed. Wouldn't have made a damn difference. Of course not. But double AWP on B halls. I've never seen that ever in my entire life. And hey, it works wonders. Woxic misses a close shot on Boomich. Rops bails him out. That's a nice little setup. And that elevates Navi's pace into the A site and into what? The 3rd AWP. They're finally going to get rid of one of them, though. It was about time. They're against Pistols. Ooh.
Ooh, that one tag. I think Woxic would have heard that. Now knows that there's a man still aggressing in through Ivy. He's got that information. The rest of Na'Vi are outside of B. They just want to go for the bomb plant. They lose Simple. His whole job was just to keep players over towards A. And while he has lived up to that, with him now falling, these rotations are going to come in very, very quickly. And with Chris J donning that AWP, as this execute looks to come on in, even if they get into the site, Frozen will just rush on in, likely to join up with Rops. Chris J can rotate in and watch Connector with the AWP. And they just collapse into Na'Vi. There's no way out of this one, guys. It's a 6th round for Mouse. And this is where, like, you know, suddenly this 8-4 scoreline that looked like it was going to be very, very one-sided can be split right down the middle, thanks to that little resurgence from Mouse when it mattered most.
Yeah, and this is kind of what we saw in the first half of Nuke, right? Na'Vi were in full control. They had a really good CT side. And then mousesports won that 1 eco where Woxic finding 4 D kills. And that just flipped the script. That gave mousesports the crucial bit of money to actually get 7 at the end of their T half. And the same thing's happened here. Na'Vi in full control. Like, don't get me wrong. They're going to win the half. This is excellent. This is great for Na'Vi. But it could have been so much more. And, yeah, it's a bit scary. Mousesports finding what could be a 4th round in a row near the end of the half. Back to the triple AWP. It was by design. Let's see what they can do with it. I actually love this idea. Like, I'm not against it at all on a map like Train, where you're in a player, you know, you could just play safe and let them into the site, try and get 1 kill, fall off, reposition. You don't have to play inside of B and fight to your death and just get traded after 1 like so many Biancas do. So passive play for Robs, playing for the retake, and that's more than likely where we'll see mousesports in this round, considering Na'Vi are grouping 5 towards B. They've not done a proper 5-man B execute yet, and even though mousesports haven't rotated one over, this is all going to be very telegraphed, and they're going to be ready for it.
Yeah, Rops kind of needs one, though, right? Like, this triple AWP in the retake, not what you want whatsoever. That Molotov going to force the peak for Perfecto, but Rops just misses the timing there. It's actually Chris J to take the advantage. And so now, like, this triple AWP, even though it's not ideal, you're still able to start to move in, feeling kind of confident. The flash goes in, no peek on the back of it. Simple, gets information, but Flamey's going to snipe the kill away from him. Closing the gap, Simple, quick flick to find Rops. This bomb has to get planted, 20 seconds. Na'Vi using all the time they can. Now start to plug in those numbers. Frozen closing the gap, trying to get stuck in. Simple on the bomb train with Electronic nearby to help him. And a quick one tap from Frozen. Electronic and Flamey now. Tucked away. They hear a man on the ladder. Bomb ticking. Electronic in with 1. Frozen falls. Shots baited from Carrigan, who drops on down. Electronic with the flick. Woxic deals with Flamey. It's down to the 1v1. Electronic is low, but Woxic running out of time. Electronic playing with his food, and Woxic's going to get the kill. There's enough time for the defuse. It's going to be close with the double tap, but I think he's got it. 7 for Mouse down the middle.
S&V. Damn good half. I mean, at the end of the day, mousesports do recover. They do find that 4-round streak, and that's kind of what we expected from them. Na'Vi dropping the ball right at the end. But at the end of the day, if you're Na'Vi, 8-round T-side, that's not one you're going to sleep on. That's a pretty good first half.
Well, mousesports and NaVi over here on trade certainly is heating up. You can see that we got supporters in full force for the mousesports side right now. It's NaVi in the lead, but mousesports do a good job of recovering there towards the end of that first half of play. 8-7 as things stand. Mau's now beginning their T side. And let's see if they can keep this little mini comeback they've stringed together going.
Lots of utility as well. Smoke flash combo. We got P250s dropped over to Rops. Carrigan's going to keep his. Rops holding on to upper B, but not for long. Simple domes in with the USP. The double peak from NaVi gets spotted.
I elevate mousesports' pace towards that A site, knowing that there's a heavy inner setup, but Chris has burst on at a range, probably not what he intended, and removed by Simple right now. Carrigan finally turns the tide, but only for a second. Boxing in a 1-on-4 that's just not going to happen. 2 from Electronic, 2 from Simple, and NaVi take 9.
Oh, we got the force buy though for mousesports. They're looking to rise to the occasion like they did back on Nuke. If you remember there, that force buy was enough to start to get them back into the swing of things. Let's see if history is going to repeat itself, or if NaVi have battened down the hatches and are ready for what's about to come their way. It's a lot of flashes, a lot of smokes in towards the A site, and Carrigan barreling in first. Bit of a signature move for Carrigan, but this time gets cut down by Boomich. And now mousesports, the rest of the gang, trying to trickle in behind their IGL, and one of them has, like Chris J has listened through and through, but he's got the bomb, and he might be about to lose it here. That there is a disaster. Electronic gets tagged by the scout of Woxic. But that is grim compensation for not just finding yourself in a 3-on-5, but also having that bomb now under NaVi control. You'll see Rops on the mini-map looking to try and get in through B to come in on a flank. Problem is, in a 5-on-3, NaVi is still going to have a man floating around here, and that's Perfecto. Flamey deals with 1. Follow-up from Woxic, so he has managed that at least. Now, what more can he do? The answer might surprise you. It's nothing. Simple cuts him down. Rops does deal with Simple down here in Pop, but now another man, another challenger. This time it's Boomich stepping up to the plate. How many wallbangs have you got, Rops? He can't afford to take a dry fight, so he's got to win it creatively. And now there's even more bodies in Pop. What's he going to manage? What's he going to do? Probably just saying words, and then he's going to die. But I'd love to be proved wrong.
Yeah, there's no way you can win this if you're Rops, right? On the ladder, we're going to be fully inaccurate. Yeah, even a leg, that's all you need. 24 HP to 0 in an instant. It's NaVi with 10. At least finding the rounds they should early on in this half. Pistol and the follow-up. Not letting mousesports get away with all too much. We're waiting for those gun rounds, and, well, they'll come through after one more eco. Oh, I like this as well. Is Perfecto going to just play pistol? Yeah, this is always nice for building a bit of money. No, he buys a rifle last second. But, yeah, not really a worry. Just in case mousesports do force up here. But, yeah, Train's not a great map for pistols anyway. Exception of the Deagle. But a couple of flashbangs from mousesports to burst into this A site. Frozen lining one up from the spawn. Chris above Pop. Setting up Rops, and there's the right click. Boomich will dodge it, and Rops is still going to kill him. That's crazy. SMG dropped down there. Rops is very low, but now mousesports is going to flood out onto this A site. Electronic, he's already spotted the bomb. He's already calling all those rotations. The inner pushes in from Simple, but it might not be needed. Electronic finding 2, and probably just a Glock is going to get made quick work of by that flank. 11 rounds to 7 for NaVi. And this is it. mousesports with the buy. Woxic even having the AWP as well. So everything available for both sides.
It's a little bit scary because back on Nuke you didn't have like the terrifying duo of Electronic and Simple, and here that's not really the case. They're very much present. They're very much laying down the pain. Simple and Woxic might be about to have a bit of a head-to-head here. Woxic's homed in, fires the shot off through the smoke, gives up the orb, did find itself over towards Ivy, and it's going to stick around. Now, in the meantime, Rops is down here at the bottom of B ramp, hiding in a smoke. Perfecto's got his attention split between upper and lower, and with Flamey having just rotated away, that's going to give Rops some passage into this B site. Now, with players already being in, this is going to prompt a bit of a rotation, not just of one player. You see Flamey moving around. Electronic briefly shifted out of position as well, but he's gone back since to Ivy. Rops, how well can he sell this fake? That's the
Does he know?
Hang on a moment. This is a problem for Chris J. Don't throw Chris J into the firing line. That's so unreasonable. Frozen Woxic get a couple of kills, and actually, it might all be said and done. Perfecto now, 1v4, deals with the first man in the form of Chris. He has Rops coming in through the back as well. Temporarily, there's a 1v2 at this site, but up the ladder and into Rops. This is just dodged it. Perfecto, the timing king. It's like he knows. Woxic's now in Ivy, but Perfecto back into T-Spawn, trying to stay alive, and he's just got round the corner in time again. Perfecto's got this one. He's got the egg timer out.
Rops can wait for a flash if he wants to be patient. They have all the time in the world. Carrigan's got that last bit of util. Bye-bye, Perfecto. Good luck here, buddy. Not going to happen. Perfecto, he never saw Rops in that round. Technically, not even then, as he got flashed out. But little does he know, he dodged him in every single position. And even though that information that for a second rotated NaVi towards B with two players, as you said, Flamey coming over, Perfecto pushes ramp, he gets the info, goes, okay, it's only a lurk. It's just a fake. It's actually an A play. And even though that was correct, it didn't really matter because Rops won his B pick, and the rest of mousesports traded really well outside of Ivy. Woxic with 2 orb kills from that position. That was a very messy round on both sides, but the result is there for Mouse. And Woxic, quick flick to the leg of Simple. Players climbing on top of Red Train as well. Got to be very careful. Simple has the orb. He's going back in for revenge.
Yeah, that's the CS equivalent of poking the bear, you know, like you haven't finished him off, and now Simple is just angry. He's looking for this kill. Electronic going aggressive as well, has Boomich alongside him, just tucked into the corner now. Carrigan doesn't check for it, and as a result comes to pay the price. Chris J out, dispatched by Electronic. Woxic, there's a man beneath his crosshair, and he's not going to realise Frozen will bail him out. But it's still NaVi looking so damn good in this round. Simple, he eventually does get his revenge onto Woxic, and Rops is kind of wondering, like, what the hell just happened? He was meant to come in to split the A site with the rest of his team, and he never even gets the privilege. Perfecto holding close, around the corner, and Perfecto's going to win out the fight. So it's 12 for NaVi. That was a partial investment around an AWP on Simple, and they're able to get it over the line.
Yeah, attack timeout. It's been some time since we've had one of these. mousesports realizing this game may be slipping away from them with a 1-round win in this half on their first rifle. Immediately responded by NaVi holding onto that outside site. Could have been a very different round if Woxic got that opening kill instead of just the leg. That is not a world that we know. Not out of the woods yet, though, NaVi. mousesports still have more money to invest into this follow-up round. It's actually only going to be Deagles. They're saving a bit for a rainy day. 10k of equipment value. NaVi over double that. Woxic's scout has been really good in this series, even if it is just tags. Back on Nuke, who's finding opening kills. If not with a scout, then with the Deagle. Oh, through the smoke, Frozen tries his hand. Flamey won't peek back into that fight, despite the smoke giving him the favor. NaVi going to regroup back and spawn. Chris with the one bit of utility in this round, ready to flash his teammates outside of pop. They do have that position, at least. NaVi with no one taking a spawn to get inside of it. Woxic, he knows, he's seen some stuff, but there's so many players on this line. No one committing to any fights, but once that flash comes through and NaVi and mousesports start to flood out, NaVi are going to be ready to trade. Flash, Carrigan with the spam, electronic re-peeking, he's going to take down a trade, and he's having a great game right now, even knows that someone's behind the E-box too. Rops is gone, it's all on the scout, and only attack for Woxic, too little too late. NaVi with 13, but that was only an eco for mousesports. We're waiting for the money to build up, and here it is.
Yeah, I would kind of love to just see mousesports, you know, like go for a B hit, especially when you think about the fact that a few rounds ago, Chris J and Rops were able to get into B and encounter very little resistance in the process. Right now, you know, they've been very, very fixated on getting past this A-hold for NaVi. And I think, you know, you've got Electronic playing E-box. You've got Simple with the AWP here. Like, you know, you're running into the brick wall almost voluntarily, it feels like at times. And oh, it's Simple. He's taken the AWP over to B in this round. And Rops is on the receiving end of it now, getting that kill. Simple, going to leave, just going to back away because he's very, very mobile with the AWP. He wants to keep mousesports guessing. He shows his hand at B. And I imagine we might see him vacate this site altogether in just a little bit. You can see him over towards backtracks right now. Flamey, meanwhile, holding on to Ivy. Has Frozen and Woxic aggressing his way. If he gets Frozen, Woxic isn't close enough to get the trade, so flash goes out. Oh, Flamey swings a little too wide. It does find himself in the firing line of Woxic, so the trade kill's there at least. Chris J, is he going to spot the man up on top of the trains? That's Boomage. All of this is going down. There's an awkward little exchange here in Ivy, and it's going to be Woxic winning that out. Boomage is still here, still on top of the trains. Players have gotten by him. This could prove to be a blessing and a curse, as now he surprises Carrigan, but there's the trade from Chris, leaving Perfecto in the 1v2.
Well, he couldn't stop the bomb plant from atop the train. He'd have to fall off, so he looked elsewhere and at least got one kill, a bit of value from that position. But unfortunately, because of how how Chris came out of the E-box side, he's able to cross into the site. So Boomage, he's saying, guys, I see nothing on A, I see no one, and NaVi rotate through the connector and get caught by Chris's aggressive positioning. So that's very unfortunate for NaVi, but great work for mousesports. Woxic even reading Boomage's smoke push on IV2, finding 2. Same story for Chris, and mousesports up to 9 here. Perfecto will get away with the AK. No one close enough to take down that saving player. NaVi, their money's there. They're going to be able to buy for sure into this round. Simple can even get York Kevlar, nothing else. And he was the one to open up that round as well. So this will be one more buy for NaVi, assuming mousesports continue picking up rounds. This could be them getting back into this T side. If anything, this would be a great round for mousesports to go for one of these fast plays, right? Get out main quickly, get those E-box and sandwich smokes down, fast flashes over the A site, assuming the spawns are favorable for them. They've been playing a lot of slow crunches on A. It's only going to be a nade onto a bomb trade, hitting Simple in the chest, but no one capitalizing, no one committing. Simple even boosted up on top of the bomb train as well. I like this spot, holding for the pallet boost, but no one there for mousesports. They're barely holding on to T-Con. Carrigan gets the favor returned from a grenade. mousesports just slow and steady, taking positions one by one. Great flashbang. Damn, that one's good. Rops is also shooting as Chris throws the flash. We've seen Boomage hear the click of the grenade and turn in the past, but in that one, because Rops is spamming through metal, Boomage never hears the flash leave the hands of Chris, and so fully white, good night. It's mousesports with a man advantage.
Smoke's throw an Ivy side from Carrigan, but you know he doesn't commit at all. He immediately goes and rejoins his teammates over here towards B. So this is looking like a late B play for Mouse. And only Perfecto here. Haven't really seen his metal tested over towards B just yet. With two players kind of passively back within the bomb site here for NaVi, the rotations are going to be fairly fast as this play looks to come in. Perfecto blinded, hop, skip, and a jump gets him across into the bomb site. Now what can he do? Smoke down. Perfecto. Ooh, there's so many bodies on the other side. Denies that bomb plant. Still alive, still a threat, and he might even live to tell the tale. He's been able to get away, at least momentarily. Robs is spamming the smoke. How's he still alive? How on earth has Perfecto overstayed his welcome? Chris J deals with Flamey, but Perfecto still putting up numbers. This bomb has to go down, and Woxic's going to find the kill. It's all on Simple. 1v3 denies the plant, and that is the round. As long as Simple stays alive, and he does. 14 for NaVi. Chris dies after time, and that is such a way to steal a round from Mouse. Perfecto with 2, plays it perfectly. Simple denies the plant, and NaVi in their favor.
It's not just Perfecto sitting on, sitting in the smoke and staying alive as well. The bomb flies forward. It's so deep. It's not like mousesports can just walk into the smoke and grab it. It is on the other end of the smoke, in view of Simple and the connector players. Oh dear, mousesports, they try and throw caution to the wind. They try and set Woxic into the A site quick, and he gets shot in the face by Simple's AWP. Robs, he had a chance. He had a timing. He had a couple booish with grenades out, looking the wrong way, but he won't commit. Thinking it's too good to be true, and maybe it was, but that could have been the refrag the mousesports needed. The map hinges on this round right now. Their money is gone. They had to buy here, forcing round not only Chris's lack of money after dying post-round time, but also Frozen saving the AK against his will with 0 loss. Carrigan spamming that deagle as he often does. He will get 1. Back into a 4-4 with low HP and a quick cleanup from Electronic, who moves closer. The spray transfer for a 2. Chris is so low. Electronic, he is going to wrap the back of blue, and this is a big problem. mousesports, they either need to move forward into this orb or wait as this flank comes into play. Electronic is patient, though, aware they could be holding this backline. He lets Simple take the next contact, and information he still has. Electronic might act on the back of that. Flamey spotting them on the site. Now Electronic will strike from behind, drops in a 1-4 for everything, and he's going to get nothing done. Flamey takes him down, and that is a pitch-perfect round for NaVi. A desperate Hail Mary out of A for mousesports. But it's kind of sad that that was the first fast A we saw for them, and it was really just reliant on Woxic. One man. There was no one following him out through that smoke, and Simple just decks him with the orb.
Well, this is looking like it's going to be a 3-mapper. This is looking like we're going to end up going the distance. NaVi just one away from locking in Dust 2. And there's Boomich with the opener. He certainly wants to get them there. Now, they do deal with these players at A fairly well, leaving themselves with the man advantage. But Simple still a threat down here toward Ivy. And, well, you blinked, you missed it. Simple swept this one under the rug. My goodness. NaVi, they take the W, they take the victory, and they lock in Dust 2 as that 3rd and final map, Hugo. I cannot wait to see Dust 2 go down on our screens, but if you want to watch it too, you have to join us after a break, so don't go anywhere.
Just a dance. I see no signals, no signs. Baby tripping, no lies. Nah. You said you're not set by. I flew in all the way for this. I'm not here to waste your time. I just can't give you vibes, you changed a bit. Girl, you mad teasing. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. She told me take it easy. Hey, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I've been running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation. Feel good. Sometimes make you feel good. You're my mission, my grand prize. Catch my vision, no damn pride. Girl, you mad easy. I don't mind leaving, just let me know. Then she told me take it easy. Yeah, yeah. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I've been running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation. Feel good. Sometimes make you feel good. I just wanna talk, but you don't wanna listen. Tryna go far, but you got mixed feelings. So I'm finished. I'm on my way. And you tell me you need it. Back in my space. Hey, yeah. How could I lie? Just to be cold. Wanna be honest. You should know. I just came here to make y'all feel good. You know what the message is. Suddenly you're with me now. You know what the message is. I've been running wild for you, babe. You know what the message is. I don't have no patience. Ain't no conversation.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2020, and we're taking it to a third map decider, Dust 2 between mousesports and NaVi. But before then, we need to discuss what happened on train. And before then, Hugo, I know you're itching to talk about this one. We want to give you an update on Complexity versus Mad Lions. It is going on right now on the B stream if you do want to check it out. But on the second map, they've just gone into overtime, so it's a lot closer of an affair than Overpass, where Complexity took it 16-3. Mad Lions clearly still trying to find their feet with their new player Innocent because they're having to play in English. It's been 2 weeks. We've got to give them a little bit of time. But time might be running out for either of these teams that we're talking about right now because it was a complete reversal of fortune on train. Hugo.
Yeah, it's a little scary for mousesports now with this going the way of NaVi and not as close as maybe mousesports wanted. We go to Dust 2 as a third, and like that's one that NaVi have looked so good in the past. But when we looked at this series from the offset, we kind of expected this, right? You know, NaVi never beating mousesports on Nuke. Mousesports never beating NaVi on train, with the exception of that one charity event. So yeah, I feel like this is painting a pretty good picture right now. Dust 2 is a finale. NaVi looking in control. Simple's warmed up alongside Electronic, and that's the duo that we needed, that we didn't really get to see back on Nuke.
I'm interested in the discipline from NaVi on their CT sides. It seems like a turnaround from a few months ago. There's so much communication that's going on. Obviously, things are a lot calmer. They're playing together on a boot camp. I can see you wanting to jump in there, Hugo.
Yeah, no, you make a great point when you talk about discipline, because mousesports never went for any of those fast A aggressive rounds. They did a lot of like set pieces and grouping up and splitting A. But when you see like Waxic sitting in main with a scout or the orb, who is constantly looking for picks, and he would never get given anything. NaVi NaVi will be running like one sandwich, one green, one deep Ivy, and no one's peeking T-Con. No one's even giving information away to the AWP in main. And when you say discipline, like, that's such a good point, because NaVi would just never give mousesports the picks they required. And, you know, maybe if mousesports were going for faster plays, it would have been a very different result.
Yeah, Electronic as well. Like, we have him on screen right now, so it feels fitting to talk about him. He's like a master of this, like, E-box brown train sandwich kind of area. You don't want to be messing with him. And then I think I'm very, very happy that we bring up Perfecto. His stats aren't incredible. Like, you look at it, he was, what, 13 and 11. You're not thinking, like, man, yeah, he did great. But over towards B, he was just holding his own, anchoring it down. 3-0 in opening duels, so he was never a liability. He was always getting one and then just falling back, you know, going through the motions. Not very key. But he still got to have his big highlight moment right here, where he denies the bomb plant, he buys all this time, he keeps putting up numbers, and eventually that leads to NaVi getting a 14th round, also trashing the economy of mousesports. Like, even if they get that bomb planted, that gives them that much more to play with up against 14. Then you kind of compound into that the fact that Chris J actually dies after time in that scenario there, and it just set NaVi up for a free win, it felt like. So Perfecto and Simple doing some real heavy lifting over towards that B bomb site when it mattered most.
And it's really important to highlight Perfecto, I feel, because this is a player, when he came onto NaVi, people were like, he's not NaVi material, he's not confident enough, he's showing land jitters. Well, okay, that doesn't matter right now, because we're online, and this is a player who has the discipline. I keep using that word, I know it's not necessarily a word we often use for NaVi, but he has the sensibility to stay in that smoke after taking that bomb planter out, wait for backup, and then do his thing, and that is why I think they won that map. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. But right now, we need you to keep clutching your straws, because we've got to take a break. But when we come back, we're going to be finding out who is going to take Dust 2 and the series.
Intel Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors, and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
If you want to know what you're good at, and, well, also what you suck at, check out CSgoHub.com. Coming!
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
We just keep on fighting and we never look back. Here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come, my tears, still breathing. Standing up, everybody's gonna see it. All you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. All you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne.
ESL One Cologne Online is brought to you in part by Intel, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, DHL, and GG Bet.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne 2020. It's one apiece for mousesports and NaVi, but now they're taking it to Dust 2. And it's fair to say the odds are in the CIS team's favour because, they're going to knife the sides. Then we're really going to find out whose favourite's in. But we know that mousesports, they don't really have a great win rate on this map. They've lost the last 6 times they've played at Carrigan Falls. And it looks like it's going to be NaVi domination. But which side are they going to pick? We're thinking probably the T side because it's Dust 2, Harry.
I don't know, like, Dust 2 is a map where it doesn't matter too much, but I think most teams prefer a CT side start because then you have that second half to be the ones setting the pace, showing your strategies, you know, like, and you're the ones doing that second. So, you know, you have like a time to get used to the other team's tendencies. You make them show a lot more than maybe you have to if you have a really good, like, CT side, right? So I'm imagining it's going to be a CT side start, but on Dust, it doesn't matter as much as it does on other maps, really.
Are you thinking the same here?
Yeah. I mean, almost every team starts CT sides. That's pretty standard. I think, you know, it's just worrying. You mentioned those last 6 maps from mousesports. Of course, they were before the player break, but one of them was versus NaVi again in the ML12 tournament. You know, asterisk there, but they got like 3 rounds in that entire map. So it's a little worrying, especially considering how good NaVi have been on Dust 2 in the past. They run a Catavita using this map. They're long control. They're fakes back out towards the B side through spawn. They're a really exciting team on this map, and you can see them huddling on the player cams there as well at boot camp, getting ready, getting raring to go, and getting in to Dust 2.
It's NaVi, it's mousesports, 2 teams, it's yellow and red, it's ketchup and mustard, and there's only room for one here on the hot dog that is ESL One Cologne. Let's see who takes this best of 3. It culminates now on Dust 2, and we're just waiting for NaVi to finish hugging this one out, and then we're going to get into this pistol round.
Usually I'm all in favour of a little cuddle, but when it's delaying the Counter-Strike, I say sit yourselves, strap yourselves in. Mousesports dying on the T side. They're going to go for a default.
Loads of grenades. We got 4 sets of util here. No kit for NaVi. They did pick the CT side after that knife round win. As to be expected at this point, but mousesports, what do we expect from them? Where are they going? The bomb heading towards tunnels. We've got Frozen in lower. Still some waiting players for mousesports holding long and middle. In case anyone wants to get aggressive, common C cat push for Simple. He's up there as well. He's not going to go much further just yet. Frozen is waiting for him if he lurks under. Bob's getting spotted at B, looking for a P250 kill as he's been dropped that over by Chris. They get this kill, they can burst in off the back of it. There is only one man inside of that B site, but we know the door change has freed up the ability for Perfecto to assist in middle. Talking of middle, Simple's dead in that area to Carrigan's P250. A risky fight to take with half of his team's utility, but that's a big kill for Robs into the B bomb site. They won't go running in. They don't need to go running in because Carrigan is taking long. This is just fights all over the map for mousesports, and now they're going to hit B. NaVi already ready for it, beginning the flank.
Yeah, Perfecto's nade going to find a little bit of damage, but not enough to write home about. Robs the bunny rabbit, hops into the site and deals with him pretty swiftly. This is where the flank comes in from Boomich. He does get one. Nade out. Throws that in. Woxic. Ooh, I thought that was going to do more, if I'm honest. But Woxic, yeah, still fine, and he's going to get his revenge. Nades are one thing, but bullets are another. Electronic 1v3. And this is a pretty tall order here. Is he up to the task? Half the time ticked off this bomb, so he really doesn't have much to play with here. Does have a smoke to maybe try and get him out the tunnels, but yeah, he's not going for it. He's just waiting around, hoping that players come his way on the exit. And Woxic, well, he might oblige.
I like that pistol from mousesports because despite having 3 in tunnels with the bomb, NaVi never had that information, right? Despite having a lot of info, they had middle. Long was lost thanks to Carrigan getting out there with a PC-50, and Rops is solo peeking B, so NaVi don't have enough info to go, yeah, it's a B play. They've only seen one dude in the tunnels. Rops gets a kill as Carrigan gets simple down mid, and then NaVi just scrambling for info. They fight on Long, they at least trade back there, and that just clears out Long, and Boomich pushes middle. So, you know, at that point they realize, but then Rops gets his B pick, and they just go running and gunning in, so... Yeah, mousesports denying information to NaVi, and also not denying the long control. Heavy flashbangs going through, and Frozen jumps to the blue bins. Woxic wall-banging Flamey later in the round. It's a gun there for Boomich to grab. But are you sure you want to take on Woxic here in middle? Woxic doesn't have a pistol either, so just sticking with a primary. Maybe there's one dropped in spawn. Because you're going to want something to fall back on if you miss your scout shot. NaVi have 2 of them still left up, but mousesports with this early kill are going to group towards Long and just commit onto this A site.
Just a tickle in response from Woxic. Simple. Ooh, with his scout, makes quick work of Woxic, but there's the trade from Frozen. Electronic going to tuck himself into Gandalf, and let's see if he lets them pass. Carrigan gets into the site and is going to plug in these numbers now. Electronic still just waiting ever so patiently in this position. Both players now spotted down in CT. This is where Electronic is hoping to bounce. Little 2-tap to deal with Carrigan. There's still players at ramp, and one of those being Frozen is trying to deal with Electronic, but he can't. There's the lineup for Rops. Electronic still fighting. Ammo going to start to become a problem with the CZ, and Rops gets it back under control. A sigh of relief for mousesports as they get that second round on the board.
Yeah, that lineup does everything for them. Without that, then that could have been a really problematic retake against mousesports for NaVi.
A little bit of a sigh of relief over on the B stream for complexity as well. They've taken down Mad Lions 2-0, although overtime, just the one on Nuke.
That's a win I feel like we would expect here. Hopefully Mad Lions can build into the tournament, but again, like, you know, there's not a lot of room here in ESL One Cologne. There's so much competition. With recent roster changes, some teams will be struggling off the back of that. Oh dear, these dings.
Well, it's good to see the big boys back, not struggling at all. This has been quite the series so far.
This is terrifying.
It shouldn't have gotten this close. It's only the USP, so thankfully Rops and Carrigan are going to kind of return some normality here. This last bit doesn't really need to happen, it feels like. Flamey up through short, it's just a question of when will he go down as opposed to if. Armored only a USP. Like, maybe, I was going to say, like, the only player he can really deal with is Carrigan, and he's all the way over at Long, so that one gets swept under the rug. Rops up 7-1, that's a nice start here. As he looks to continue his stellar performances from the last 2 maps, top in the charts, both on Nuke and on Trade. Now we got the investment for NaVi. That's where things get exciting again. So for anyone who kind of tuned out in that previous round, tune back in, because this is where things will pick up a notch. Simple. Going to be donning that up for NaVi, as we've come to know and love, and he's taking that over here towards A. Going to flash his teammates in for a long peek. They get established. Look at that, just running through mid. And, well, you know, it looked cool. It looked like something great was going to happen. And then that's what we get.
Yeah, you see people do that, usually coming in from, like, lower route, but Woxic going full suicide and running down suicide to get there. It's not going to work, not with a scout either, that he hit a tag. Flamey locking down middle as mousesports look to take catwalk against this AWP of Simple. Flash is good. Simple has to fall off with his Molotov. Gun wasn't out in hand anyway. That's at least position game by mousesports, but they don't even have long yet, and Frozen has no utility nor teammate to get flashed out into this position, so he's going to have to concede as well. Mousesports grouping up on mid. Oh dear, Flamey's gone out wide with that second orb and taking a tag onto Carrigan. Mousesports getting bruised and battered before they even find a successful fight here in this round. Now after that mid-fight, NaVi fall back into a double B setup. Mousesports are going to fake it out with a Molotov and CT smoke. Carrigan trying to sell this fake, but the rest of mousesports jumping up into A. Gravity takes Robs down as Simple hits a shot. He follows up with a kill as well. Sees Chris's head, duck down, creeping and crawling towards the site. Nothing Simple can do but wait. And Chris, he might be able to open up a bomb plant, but past that point, this is going to be a nigh on impossible round for mousesports.
Oh, this is horrible for Chris J. What do you even do? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. They're in the walls. Electronic going to deal with it. And NaVi, they take that round by storm. It is flawless. Everyone stays alive. Simple holding down catwalk. That's a terrifying sight indeed. I love this double AWP as well that they run with Flamey here on Dust. You know, there's even been a few games where it feels like in the beginning Flamey starts to like outshine just because mid and that B side can be so good with the AWP. There you go, poor Robs, man. Just trying a CT drop. Gonna be the reinvestment for Mouse. They do have a bit of a bank of cash. Woxic has a long spawn as well, but actually I hear typing. Oh no, that's never good. That's never good. What's broken now? What have you done, Hugo?
I may have kicked a PC. Servers crashed, Harry.
I feel like we've done quite well so far to not have any technical issues. So you know what, Day 2? I'm chilling with this.
I'm looking at everyone here. Everything's in order. It all looks good. NaVi, they check out. So it's mousesports. Mousesports are the problem. What have they done? Mouse, what have you done?
They lost a round and it all went wrong. That's what happened.
Yeah, look. Things look a little more animated here. Carrigan's typing. What's going on? Yeah, Chris J, of course, it's Chris J. What's happened here then? Mousepad, you spilled something, haven't you?
Okay,
you
the reason there is a mousepad, no word of a lie, producer Thomas just told me there is a bee that is buzzing around mousesports gaming room. That is where you can see Carrigan looking up. That's where you can see Regin wielding a mouse mat. And that is where we get a delightful view.
All right.
Those shorts.
Let's watch it.
On Chris J.
Okay, no,
absolute
mad respect for the cup and paper, because that means they're catching the bee and they're rehoming it. Big fan of that. It looked like Chris J's intention was to murder it. So, you know, like, I much prefer this solution. Lots of groin here. That's good, right? Carrigan's just analysing the whole situation, man. He can't believe, he's never seen anything like it.
Chris J looks terrified. How many Counter-Strike players does it take to get a B out of your boot camp? That is the question. It turns out no one, because none of the players are stepping up to it. It's all down to mousesports management to make sure none of them get a little sting on their game hands.
We don't know that B is not a NaVi spy in disguise.
That's
I mean, not very good.
They are basically B-coloured. Yeah. Look, man, like, that's it. We figured it out.
Have you seen, though, gents, the Asian Hornets? First it was COVID, then Asian Hornets hitting America. I don't know if you saw them. They are massive. And to be fair, I do not blame Chris J for getting the heebie-jeebies.
Heebie-beebies.
Heebie-beebies indeed, but it looks like we're nearly ready to get back into the server. No damage was done, so there's no rounds conceded. It's all fair, it's all game. NaVi not making any fuss, given that they just won that last round.
No bees were harmed in the making of this tournament.
All right then, lads, we're back in. Woxic trying to be a little bit more careful down suicide this time. Not quite chasing his way down. He knows Flavey's there mid-CT waiting for him.
Well, so Mas is more in Spanish, and there's B-Mas, and right now I think that mousesports want anything but, right? They don't want more Bs. Here's Woxic down through mid, looking to get stuck in with the AWP, and he's now creeping out into middle. The B problem has been dealt with. They've rehomed it. Shout out mousesports. Also, Chris J, can't believe it. I always am pegged as a nice guy. These are our friends. Let's remember that. Now, Chris J lining up a flash. Looking to get Carrigan in over towards short side, but there's no one here for them to find. And they actually just leave it all together. They leave middle. They go back. And, you know, we've had Bs in two senses of the word now. One in the boot camp and one here in the server. mousesports feeling inspired as they get ready to move on in. Flamey, open hand, and he's going to prove to be a bit of a nuisance, buzzing around at the back of the site. Rops finds him. Perfecto now. Oh, removed as well. Carrigan out in mid. And this is where the mousesports hive mind have to try and pull together to see this one through. Woxic getting that bomb down. Long flank from Boomich all the way in. Through T-spawn, Woxic waiting for a peek. Carrigan holding it back, playing the trigger discipline, and follows up onto Simple as well. Boomich does deal with one player over here inside of the B site, but is he ready for Rops wrapping in through the lower tunnels? I don't think so. Not considering that as an option, and there's Rops dealing with him. The beekeeper, as he keeps that one under lock and key. It's mousesports moving on to 4.
I feel like we've opened a wormhole, Harry. We've opened Pandora's box, and yeah, that's a dangerous game with you and your tricky words. mousesports, they're looking good. They're looking in control right now. Flamey not as happy about that round because NaVi falling short in another rifle round. They're going to rebuy back in. No AWP in this time. Rops is just continuing his stellar performance all day long. 9-2, top of the server right now. Woxic sitting in the molly, hoping Flamey goes in for the repeak, but it's not going to happen, so burns off half his health. Boomich waiting close to the smoke. There's a run boost out for Woxic to try and take this mid control. Wary of an aggressive player. Oh, flash into the B site. Rops goes quick, and he's going to get Perfecto off the top of the box. He's fully blind, nothing to do. Simple tries to assist. If he can transfer to 2, that's a big hold. And now mousesports will be sent elsewhere. They can't come out through mid. That was only a 2-man effort towards B. Luckily, these earlier kills gained by mousesports have kept them equal. NaVi have yet to rotate, though. They are still in CT spawn, regaining ground up on A. Carrigan looking at the ground, frozen on the flank, and he's hit the perfect timing, but not perfect enough. Flamey trading. Carrigan now stuck in the 1-on-2, and I like the disengage from Flamey. He falls into the spawn, he gives away the plant, and they play this as a unit. They could boost, they could jump, or they could just walk up the ramp, and Carrigan will come to them instead. NaVi, patient in the spawn, find their second.
I just love Flamey on Dust, man. Like, I feel like, you know, he's always someone that you know's there, but he's not like a name that you reference in the same way that you do someone like Simple and Electronic. Yeah. Here on Dust, there's just something about it. Like, his double AWP is great. His ability in these retakes is stellar. He is just such a complete player on this map and just such a menace. Like, look at this first kill. And then pivots back, deals with this flank from Frozen. That kill there really does make all the difference, because at that point in time, he suddenly goes from, like, looking like the mastermind to someone in a very rough spot. He's getting pincered from Cat and Long. He pivots, instantly drops back into CT, as you mentioned, Hugo, that disengage, and then just approaches it in the 2v1 with Simple. That's what we want to see. It's just Deegs now for mousesports, and what looks like a long take. Now, this might be easier said than done for the Mouse crew, especially with that deep molly. That's going to allow Boomich to work his way up close, and he's might be far deeper than Mouse are ready for. There's one gone. Follow up. Boomich just making quick work of these pistols.
We've been seeing NaVi smoke mid at the start of the round. This round, they smoke mid and they delay cross. They take a second there. Obviously very scared of potential wolves or scouts fighting down the doors. But the good thing about the recent B door changes is it allows you to do that. You can be a bit slower on that mid cross because you're able to molotov the tunnels from middle early on. You don't have to get into the B site to throw effective supporting utility. So that's nice. Perfecto gets that molly in early. No B-rush anyway. mousesports are just trying to take long, and, well, NaVi have grabbed it right from their hands. Pushed towards the door. Simple's fighting, and he will succeed. Closing out the round with 3 for NaVi. And everyone staying alive on that Antico as well is good news for them and their money, as mousesports are only looking to buy back in here and now. No AWP available either. Their B crunches have been nice, right? We've not seen any proper mid to B splits. Flamey has been effective there in shutting down whoever heads middle for Mouse, but, flashing Rops in through the B tunnels has had success so far. So let's see if Mouse continue to focus on this B control. Only Carrigan going there this time.
I feel like you said the phrase B so much now since the situation.
It was
hear it the same.
Yeah, it might have been a wasp. We don't know. We're making assumptions here. Did we ask it?
Producer Tom said it was a B. I'm trusting him. Could have been a bumble. You've got to save the bees. They're very important for the environment, boys. No environment, no Counter-Strike. Because we'll be dead.
No honey.
Oh, that too. I went straight for the dark side.
Well, you know, like, it's fun to focus on the inevitability of that. So let's let's dive back in to something to take our minds off of it. Carrigan over here at short. Flash is raining in towards long, going to allow the double peek from Chris J and co as they barrel on out. And now, long control taken here from mousesports. Electronic, looking like he wants to go aggressive, and Carrigan has absolutely no idea. The Molotov as well going to serve to cover up some of those footsteps as it blooms, allows the aggression to come in. And look at this, NaVi, they've completely left the B site. They have stacked up heavily on Catwalk. Simple's holding the cross, and kind of like a collateral waiting to happen, but they've dodged it. They find the kills. Boomich falls, and it's all on Flamey. I'll say it, I love him on Dust. Now would be a time to show us why. He's down in CT, trying to figure out how to approach this 1v2, and Robs, he's planted in the grossest spot he can think of. Flamey gets spotted, does get away with a bit of damage, but this is still a very tricky round for old Flamer.
Yeah, he's realised it. It's done. It's dusted. Regardless of that bomb plant, there would have been a problem later on. Thank you very much. I've lost my point now with the big B sign, but yeah.
He's buzzed off to the B site. How's that, Hugo?
He's saving. He's getting out of there. He wants nothing to do with this.
He's flown away. I hate myself.
Pest control are leaving the site.
I hate you too.
I mean, these are mice as well, right? We got animals on both sides. mousesports are going to get away with the AWP as well. It's a big upgrade considering they only had AKs coming into that round too. The long take's lovely. All comes down to Simple getting domed by Chris on this cross. You know, Simple hits that shot, like you said, looked like a collateral. You know, NaVi should have been able to hold A, at least trade better to set Flame up for a 1v1 on that rotation. But 1v2, Rob's getting the info, him being so far away, time was just not in his favor. So mousesports keeping things competitive. 3 to NaVi. mousesports going back for the long take. Woxic volleyed out. This time won't take damage, but also will take a flash to the face and finds nothing.
Yeah, Simple's going to try and keep mousesports guessing, right? Always switching it up. This time going aggressive down here towards Cap with that AWP. Still noise being made by Frozen over at long, but he's left here pretty much alone. Carrigan's still nearby with the bomb. So this is still feeling like it could culminate in an A play, but the thing that makes me doubt that is Rops is still here in these upper tunnels, and Chris J is holding on to the bottom of mid. So either we're going to see them go for this cat control and then fall back into one of these B plays later in the round. That's something that they like to do, right? Have the smokes needed to try and get into mid, and this is them signaling that cat control, like they want to try and go for one of these A plays. You'll see now that Chris J has left bottom mid, rejoins the rest of the gang over in the B tunnels. Carrigan does get tagged on the peak. Crucially, right, we got Frozen and Carrigan over here in middle. They have 2 smokes, so that kind of solidified that this is the B split. Frozen tagged crossing. And now NaVi know as well as we do. Flamey's going to try and hold down the site. Chris J's already in, and that's the bomb going in first. That is the most important thing in the game, dropped within the bomb site. That is a disaster. Perfecto, Simple, they're both here. They're lighting up the scoreboard, and this round is as good as done. For Maus, 2 on 4. There should be no way back into this. Perfecto, maybe if they find it, but they're not ready for him in the site, so this one's over. Perfecto and Simple hold on, and NaVi get a 4th.
That looks exactly like every B rush you've ever done in a pug. 3 of your teammates standing in the tunnels. No one wants to be the first going out. Obviously, it was actually a flashbang that came through that blinded all 3 players after the bomb got dropped, and they were just standing there jumping, trying not to get shot in the face. So that's unfortunate. And then mousesports, they just have to come in through late. Simple is lighting them up with that AWP like we hoped. And it's worth noting, Simple, he got forced off of Cat from that flashbang after he legs Carrigan. That's like the best case scenario. That's what mousesports are trying to accomplish. But he immediately drops CT. He runs through the mid to B smoke, and he spots and tags Frozen heading towards B. Simple already knew it was an execute. We had 3 players in and outside of the B site before mousesports even entered the tunnels. So yeah, that's a great reaction from Simple. He didn't fall for that cat take into the A site, but let's find out what happens when mousesports actually get up catwalk, because that seems to be the object of their desires.
Here we go. This is it. Simple. Ooh, missed shot. Tagged as well. Trying to fall back into the site. Now, you are running into Simple and Electronic. This is not the welcoming party that mousesports were hoping for. Nade, pretty brutal. Flash, pretty brutal. It's not feeling great. Molotov, even uglier. Uh-oh, this is gross. They're burning. They are burning. And here's Electronic. Maybe going to get the spray down. Simple helping out. They lose Boomich, but Simple at the crossroads is crossing them off his list. It's Rops, 1v4, Deegan hand, and a very tricky round. Now, he does land that shot onto Electronic. Now he's looking for other players that were in rotation, dropping into CT. Perfecto's just, I thought he heard him, and I think he has. He turns back around, and now they're anticipating this mid-lurg. Rob's a little late to catch anyone still crossing from B. He's trying to give us the signal that he knows what's up, but he doesn't. Flamey gonna find him, and it's 5 on the board for NaVi.
I love that double hold from Simple and Electronic on the A site. So much damage done by the utility. But on top of that, it's not just the damaging utility, it's the flashbangs. In the same way that they segregate Mouse's B site push in the previous round, they do the same on Cat. One player goes out wide, he dies, then a flash comes through, everyone's blind behind the smoke. And Mousesports have to stop and slow down, letting NaVi throw in more grenades, do more damage through the smoke. Their flashbangs are excellent right now. And Electronic, he had 9 multi-kills back on train. He is showing up again. Great recovery rounds from NaVi. And now they're going to hit B fast. Mousesports, oh dear, 2 missed shots. You can't afford that, Flamey. You're going to get overwhelmed now. Pistols out. He's tapping away. The flashes save him for only a moment. 2 kills. That knife for Frozen, killing Simple in the mid doors. What is going on? Double AWP for Mousesports. They picked it up off the body of their foes. Perfecto going through into the B site, but he won't commit. Misses his opportunity. Tap on the site. It's Woxic with the bomb. He's waiting for support, and Boomich is on the long flank, but he is close behind.
Yeah, Boomich could end this whole round here and now. Frozen looking the wrong way, and now Woxic. This is horrible. He has too many angles to keep an eye on. Even with his 3k EDPI, it's not enough. 6 for NaVi as they pull ahead here. Still a very good round, considering that was pistols for Mousesports. They also get away with a knife kill, so they've made money here. The bomb plant as well, even going to add to that even further. Double AWP is a potential. We've seen, interestingly enough, we've seen Rop selecting to be the man on that second AWP a hell of a lot. Now, that's very interesting to me because you've got Chris J in this team, and then even past that, you've got Carragher, both of them with a history of AWPing. But it's been Rop donning it a lot of the time. I like the Chris for President sign in the background.
Get behind that.
I can get behind that.
I mean, he could be our Prime Minister in the UK if he wants. Like, I'm down. Anything.
Anything. Like, really desperate. Really, anyone, anything. We'll take it. Well, Boomich. Down here in the bottom of mid, and he's looking to lock down short side. Chris J does get out, but at what cost? Burning in the Molotov, the nade follows up, and that's a bit of a disaster. That's a bit of a rough start for Mouse. Nothing's really sticking right now for this Mousesports squad. It's a last-ditch attempt at getting into B, and Rops thinks he can hold Woxic's hand on the push to get them in.
Ooh, Perfecto's hiding well behind the double stack. Robs has no idea. He's checking the car. That's going to make him exposed. Perfecto hits a drop and he reacts. Just trying to stay alive at this point, calling for a flashbang from his team, and no one here to help him out. Robs is fighting into the middle doors, very exposed. Woxic is going to save his teammate's life, and Robs can dart back out into the B bomb site, burning utility as fast as they can to facilitate that plant. But NaVi coming in quickly with a flashbang. It's avoided. Robs taking down Boomich and into a 2-on-2. More utility here for NaVi. Mousesports aren't giving them a leg. They aren't giving them an arm. No way back in. Electronic's got to force it, coming through the smoke, hearing the scope of Woxic, and the flick back is perfect. 3, make it 4, get them all. Woxic shuts down the B retake, and Mousesports pick up a 2-on-4.
Flamey just attempted the simple. He threw the AWP over the wall, picked up an M4, and then ran in through the window. You love to see it, but doesn't work out. Woxic on the other side gets that one at the locking key. It's 6-6. Mousesports tying things up, keeping this competitive, and with that victory, bringing the economy of NaVi to its knees. They go for the force buy, double AWPs out, and that is all they've got with pistols and armor around it.
So sick. Boost up for Simple. Chris comes out lower and gets a nice swift haircut. And this is a really important opening kill for NaVi, considering the buy, right? They've fully forced into this one. They have 2 orbs and 3 pistols. Not a lot of weaponry. You're very reliant on this double orb setup to do the damage. And Simple and Flamey, neither of which have armor. So, massive opening kill. Flamey, not going to play ahead of the smoke. Safe decision. Hanging around the edge anyway as Robs tries to put a bit of pressure on B. He has kept 2 players here. His bomb will be going up towards the A site right now, but it can always drop into a mid to B. And I think that's exactly where this is going. Karrigan's going to drop into the spawn and try and outflank Electronic. He sees him in the corner. Electronic doesn't hear it, but Simple gets the trade. That might be enough to set them up. Flamey's got another shot from the B doors with his teammate covering the tunnels. As long as he can hide in the site and buy more time, mousesports are in a very uncomfortable 2-on-4 once again, but it's the same 2 back up to no good.
Flamey nails the first shot. Woxic now on the angle, but surely not ready for Perfecto as well. That there is the big question mark. Perfecto gets legged on the no-scope from Woxic, but not the killing blow. It's 7 for NaVi. That full buy, putting everything they can into that round, gives them the results they were hoping for. Flamey just dominating at the B bomb site. That's Simple on this opener. I love that that's how they play around it, right? Like, you've got Simple, you've got him on an off. No one else really has anything. They throw him up into the boost to just strip a man away early on from mousesports and kind of invert that pressure, put it all onto the T side. Oh, goodbye, Woxic. Tries to peek down middle. Simple's a little faster off the mark, and he even follows up onto Frozen.
Yeah, Simple's gotten better every map of this series so far, and now peaking in the 3rd is exactly where we need him to be. NaVi looking for an 8-6 bare minimum here, as mousesports save for the last round of the half. Simple going back towards B, chucking in a Molotov as Perfecto has no more utility but a single flashbang. The bomb is waiting outside of B, but Simple, he might not let them even worry about the bomb. He is removing every player from this round, flashing Boomage into middle as well. Chris, he dodges it for us. It seems like he dodges it, but I guess not. And Robs gets the dink onto B, but this is already a lost round. He hasn't even taken the bomb with him, for crying out loud. But won't blame him. That round's already done. NaVi with 8. And this is it, mousesports' last chance, looking to equal up the score at halftime. Well, not equal, but split it, rather, down the middle, Harry.
Be interested to see if they go for that beast, but again, it seems like NaVi have been especially successful at shutting down momentum on A, and so Mouse just aren't bothering with it full stop. It looks like they're going 3 to B yet again, not even bothering for info on the A side.
Yeah, and they're going to go early as well. They're not waiting around. We get that fake smoke in mid for Karrigan to cross catwalk, but by the looks of things, it's like mousesports want to go very early on into this site. And as I said, with Karrigan using his smoke, he's not going to be able to throw anything in mid to B. NaVi already beginning those rotations. Flamey, as the smoke blooms, takes the shot onto Frozen, and now repositioned to the window for a second. This is a mow down. This is a lockdown for NaVi, and even hiding in the site is Perfecto, stalling as long as he can. He drops another. Woxic in a clutch. We've seen him do things crazier, though, in the past.
Electronic at the doors, wrapping in its Boomage through tunnel, and that there could be Woxic's undoing. He taps the bomb. They don't peek yet. They think it might be a fake, and it's not. Woxic, almost in with the flick. The Boomage finds it, and that there is going to be 9 for NaVi at the end of the first half of play. 6 for mousesports. NaVi with a 3-round lead in the 3rd and final map of this best-of-3 series. Stick around for the result after the break.
For a long time now. Always have a good time whenever we go out. But you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk, but you can't I just wanna turn back time. Choked up, tell me how do I say this right? Cause you've been calling me up all the time and sending me signs and giving me them eyes. And you've been saying that you found the one, texting me drunk and you wanna talk, but you can't say why. I can't get there and you know I'll try. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. It doesn't feel right to call you mine. You know I don't wanna waste your time. I can't get there and you know I'll try, but I can't say why. Get there and you know I'll try. You know I don't wanna waste your time. City lights, I'm looking in your eyes, but I can't say why. Does it feel right to call you?
Well, NaVi fans are feeling happy right now. They owe a lot both to the forces of nature in their team and the mother of nature for putting a B in the mousesports camp, now 9-6. At the end of that first half of play, pistol beginning, and Rob's taking an immediate peek in through mid. There's an Xbox smoke down, NaVi in the tunnels, and this pistol for the second half well and truly underway.
Very little investment from both sides. It looks like NaVi, they're taking a leave out of mousesports, but they're going to play it a little bit slow on this one. Boomich lurking for information towards mid, and actually it looks like we're going to see a little bit of domination there. Simple with the bomb, waiting for information to come in, but little does he know that Frozen is there. He's waiting on the other side at the end of B. But is he going to be able to stop once the push, once the call comes in?
Yeah, that's the big question, right, Frankie? It's going to be Frozen playing this little crouchy, cheeky headshot denial angle that there is over towards the back of B. Mid-smoke comes in. Robs, they tried to check this earlier, and they thought they had. Carrigan, tapping away in middle, isn't ready for the other man. Oh, knife out! Ah, he's missed, but he does get it. The second time around, Boomich stabbing Carrigan in the back. And now just Chris J and Woxic in this 2-on-3. They lose their captain, captain down here in middle. The bomb planted. What can Chris and Woxic do with this B site retake?
Woxic now moving in. He's searching for that information, but Perfecto, he's ready for him. Meanwhile, the rap is coming in from Chris J. He's got those double doors in his sights. Perfecto, not really sure which way to look, but it looks like he might have got the info on Woxic. Chris J's making some noise, and Chris J's coming in with the rap. Gets the sweet, sweet one tap onto Perfecto. But simple. Ooh! And Perfecto versus Chris is a 1v1. He's down to 2 HP. Perfecto, he knows he just needs to play for time. But Chris J, at the last moment.
It was close. It was so close. Like, Frankie, I would have loved it if that was like your first bit of play-by-players, just Chris J mopping up a 1v3. But sadly, it's close but no cigar. You can see the frustration on Carrigan there. He gets knifed, man. That's a classic Carrigan frustrated face. We know it. And we kind of love it because we love the Carrigan face. But when it's frustrated, easy on the wall from mousesports. But is it easy in the server? That's the question. Woxic gets tagged on the cross and actually doubles back in towards this A-bomb site.
Yeah, long take goes the way of NaVi. Mousesports don't look to contest it too heavily. They will be boosting the scout back up onto the bomb site as NaVi do the same on long. patient as ever. We know what Navi's long control can be like. Robs is not. He is anything but patient, pushing through the tunnel smoke. Flamey's going to clear it. The late lurk towards the B site is perfect. And with Robs dead, Frozen needs to stay here in anticipation of what could be a rush. It's nothing of the sort. It's Navi holding default. And when you lose that man in a round like this for mousesports, you're going to feel the need to get aggressive, to try and find a trade. And all that's done is dig them deeper and deeper in the hole. Chris gone on long. Woxic finally gets peaked, and that earlier damage collapsed on by Simple Scout. Nice shot from Carrigan. Always good with the deagle, but is it going to be enough?
There we go. Frozen does deal with Flamey. However, this 2-on-3 still unlikely for Mouse. They've given themselves a fighting chance. Carrigan lying in wait over here at short. Deagle, maybe the stuff of legends here. It's going to have to be. Smoke goes in, and with that, that might be the round all said and done, right? Carrigan knows it, we know it, they hate to admit it, but it's what's happening. Wrapping in through long, it's going to be Boomich, and actually, mousesports still over here at short. They've had like a bit of a face-to-face meeting and a disagreement as to how this round was going to pan out. Carrigan wanted to save, Frozen wanted to go for it, and in the end, it's Carrigan trying to make the safe choice that gets taken down. So it's 11 on the board for NaVi as they deal with that force buy from Mouse relatively easily.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world losing the guns, right? It's not like they're going to have much to show for in the follow-up. Just flat USPs, you can imagine. Kind of rounds get creative. Mousesports often are with these pistols, with these full ecos, stacking up, head boosting.
I'm sorry. Why are you wearing a VP shirt on fan cam, mate? Decide. Who are you supporting here? Come on. Get your NaVi jersey on, but just make sure you've got a jersey on, to be fair.
That's better, at least he's wearing a shirt.
Yeah, because I'm British. I'm mortally offended by anything nudity. I mean, I'm shocked that you've got a short sleeve t-shirt on, to be honest.
I know, showing a bit too much skin.
It's distracting.
Shoulders are distracting, according to schools. Right now, NaVi is schooling mousesports, teaching them a lesson. A bit of a mid-push. Creative is a must here for mousesports, but the results aren't going to show through. Only damage. Electronic swoops in to assist, and they can just get out of here if they want. They've got 3 kills. Perfecto's coming in with full health from T-Sport, and Flamey looks to make money. Simple yoinks it away, and this round is done as quick as it comes. 12-6. NaVi in a commanding lead right now, and to think that they've only just started their T-side, this is where we love NaVi on this map, so it's going to get scarier and scarier. We are really relying on people like Woxic with that AWP to show us what he can do. Meanwhile, Chris, on the other side of things, 3-16, having a really rough start, or just rough map. It's not even a start. We're in the second half. And yeah, well, we need something out of someone at this point because NaVi have no signs of slowing down.
Perfecto's hung out to dry here. He could prove to be a liability. No one's nearby to help, and so he needs to kind of win this fight. It's Chris J down in pit. That nade might delete him, and it does. Great one from Perfecto to at least get a 1-for-1 out here towards long. Now Woxic posted up a car with the AWP, trying to drive by in this round. But it's the slowdown from NaVi. Signature move. They completely pull the brakes. Trying to dodge that collision car over towards the A-bomb site. And this now puts the seed of doubt in mousesports' head, right? It's them sat in a 3-on-4. And they're the ones who maybe start to overthink. They're the ones who can start to shift around and move into some sort of gamble. NaVi, they're just going to wait patiently for as long as they can. Likely not even going to see them begin to move till that 30-second mark.
All Frozen holding very close indeed. Flamey is just selling this B fake, and that's going to keep 2 players here and one on the mid side as well. Woxic, he's rotating in. Flamey's getting spotted. He will get taken down, but now the penny should drop here for mousesports. They realize it's nothing more but a lone Mac 10. It's a long take instead. Double smoke cross. Woxic, he's going to be rolling the dice here with a shot, but instead getting closer. Boomage going for the wide long plant as well. Luckily enough, no one on catwalk to stop them. That Molotov down will deny any presence of mousesports. Yeah, this is probably the best call you can make. A save here. Both of their other players committed inside of B, nowhere near that A-bomb site. Too far a rotation, and this round is too far gone. NaVi 13-6. 7 rounds in a row.
It's not just Chris J who's having a quiet map so far. Frozen as well. Yeah, he had his moment of glory with the knife kill in that first half, but since then, really, we're not seeing necessarily what we'd expect from him. He's not really getting those opening duels either. 1 to 4.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a struggle, right? And that's like one of the problems when it's not just, you know, like one guy struggling a bit, you can try and like lift them up with the rest of the gang. It can feel a little bit tricky because it's like, you know, how do you lift someone like Chris J up? This guy's been through it all. What do you say to him to get him feeling it again? And then you look towards Frozen as well. He's been having a pretty rough time of things thus far, struggling at securing those openers. Obviously as well, he's found himself over here towards B, which has been like very hit and miss. So this round, Chris J falls out of the gate. The bad times just keep getting worse for Chris J. Burning in the molly is Boomich. That's actually a kill from beyond the grave for Chris. Woxic flashed off, and this time they might try and rush him down a little bit more. They didn't fight him the last time they were in this position, but now they look to challenge. Woxic holding for the crossback, snipes down Flamey, and that there leaves Mouse now back into a 3-on-3. That duel in mid really means everything, and Frozen falling a little bit short now splits this Mouse defense up 1-to-1 between either bomb site. It's Rops and it's Woxic, the two top performers thus far for Mouse. If anyone was going to be able to get it done, it's these two. Simple. Going to catch Rops over towards B, and this actually leaves Woxic now in what should have been a save. Maybe that peek from Electronic spurs him on to try this, and, you know, the odds very much stacked against him. He's very far away, and it's that, mate, honestly, it's the distance. It's the time that it's going to take. It's the fact that NaVi, they take mid. Oh, if only Woxic knew. Simple, don't go back.
You're crazy.
Oh, no. Woxic is hiding. They're all low. Everyone is almost dead. They're 11, 12, and 13 HP. Counting with NaVi.
Simple now saying, if you're going to bait me, Woxic, well, you know what? I am absolutely coming for you, my friend. He's just wrapping around, desperately hunting for him. But Woxic knows he's baited Simple to perfection. He's hiding back in pit. Who is going to win this 1v1? Oh, and it's Simple.
Yeah, I mean, I would usually put my money on Woxic to hit that shot, but I think at this point, you know, cracks are starting to show. mousesports are crumbling in front of our very eyes. You mentioned the opening kills for Frozen, Frankie, 1 and 4. Sadly, he's not the only one. The top performer, being Rops, is also 1 and 4 on OD. ODs, that's probably not what I'm going to call it. Opening duels. Chris is 0 and 4. The RNG meter really hitting him in these last 2 gun rounds. Both times he's had the long spawn. No one wants to do it, but sometimes you just have to try and get into that pit. And he just gets caught on the cross by Electronic this round. Another opening kill for NaVi. Add it to the trophy room.
Moment of silence for the guy holding his phone up to the inverted horizontally camera so it all reads backwards. That's sad. But
guys, we know what it said.
It was a Boomich message.
It was. Numa Numaye.
Boomer, boomer.
I think we know what we're listening to in the car on the way home, gents.
Oh, no.
Well, let's see, right? Because we're already focusing on the journey home. There's still possibly some legs on this game. It's going to require a lot from mousesports, and we haven't seen anything yet that's going to give us much promise for that. But I've always got a degree of faith. Maybe I'll get proved wrong. Woxic opening up with a kill on a Boomich. That there has at least started Mouse off with a man advantage. That's something that they've not really had yet on this CT side. Is that enough? Chris J spotted down in the pit, this time by Flamey. Simple holding for the CT peek from Carrigan. The timing just couldn't be worse. Simple deletes him. Flamey's making noise at long, and he's kept 3 players at this A bomb site. If NaVi split into B, Rops is effectively in a 1v3 at this side of the map. The mid smoke goes down, and now Mouse are having to consider that this B play could be coming in. This is a little bit interesting, though, because NaVi, they start to take cat control now. They're still trying to leave their options open. It's not uncommon to see them leave it down to the last possible second. Alert gets dealt with, and now they commit up cat. Missed shot from Woxic, but he's got support. Plenty of it over towards long. NaVi darting back off catwalk. Now the B play looks to come through. Problem is, they don't have these mid smokes anymore. Electronic has got 1, but this still leaves a little sight line open to a man like Woxic. If he gets in the right place at the right time, Isn't even wrapping top mid. Uh-oh, he didn't kill Simple. That's always scary. Robs, can he hold down B? If he wins these fights, he wins the round, and only good for one. It leaves Electronic. Woxic there, 7 for Mouse.
Yeah, he has come alive, and once he's grabbed this AWP on the CT side, some big rounds, some big kills from Woxic, and he even comes in through that mid smoke, knowing Simple's there. Frozen commed it across and beats it with a P2000 rather, and then closes it out here, not giving Electronic the room to get that bomb plant. Like you said, Harry, maybe still legs on this game, maybe still a chance. It's up against 14, which always feels all the more impossible, but we can't count mousesports out. Yeah, NaVi, if they hit B earlier, they probably would have won the round, but it was going up towards A, losing the man along to Frozen in the corner, and then seeing Woxic on the car. That was the info that everyone was A and only a solo B player. NaVi, they're just going to hit it quick now. Robson, Frozen playing a crossfire, so blind though, they can't see a thing, and they'll just perish in the fire and flames. Boomich flashed out himself, sprays down Carrigan, and NaVi, they've turned the temperature up. They are cooking with gas. It's Chris alone, 1-on-4, gets us second kill, but at this point, NaVi, unless they start to really overplay their hand and chase this one down with the bomb planted, this should be their round.
Well, now we're going on a walking tour of Dust 2 with Chris J. He's going to take us through it as he tries to hold on to this AWP. Perfecto doesn't want to let him get away with it. He would have heard that scope in as well. Knows that he's up on short. He's made noise. Perfecto getting caught. Chris J with 3. Doesn't want to give this AWP away. Should be fine. Should be able to escape now uncontested. Still, 15 on the board for NaVi, right? It's an AWP held onto, but is that going to prove to be valuable for Mouse? Chris J can drop a gun over. Robs has money to buy. The rest of the gang, it's a little bit more called into question. There will be 3 rifles, though, at the very, very least. An attack pause to try and help them out. NaVi stood on the finish line, and all that's left to do now is get across it.
Yeah, mid to B, along from Boomich is excellent in this round as well. It's something we never really saw from mousesports on this T side, something that was maybe lacking in that first half. They had some really successful B hits, but it was never coming out through mid unless they were throwing lurk smokes out CT spawn to go cat. So right now, NaVi just a fast commitment into B, and it works wonders. Great flashbangs as well. Both Robs and Frozen at the back of the site, fully blind. Frozen sits in the Molotov and just perishes because he knows no better. He knows nothing at that point. And well, now mousesports up against match point here for their opener in Cologne. They've had a great showing, right? Assuming this is over for mousesports, they should still be happy about the fact they've taken this to 3, but yeah, NaVi coming back in with full force. Their boot camp working wonders. Double AWP for mousesports. Carrigan's had enough of waiting around. Unfortunately, NaVi are the ones waiting around for him at the top of the middle. Oh dear, bit scary. Carrigan might need to duck and dive out of this one. NaVi appealing away from long to deal with him.
Yeah, he's going to stick around. This is an interesting decision from Carrigan. He is in a pretty rough spot and swinging out into the arms of Perfecto. That there is his demise. 4 on 5 now for Mouse. And with NaVi leading a few players into these tunnels, Chris J, hello, taking up the position of his fallen IGL. Is he going to fare any better? Chris J, what you got for us, man? What you been cooking up? Well, ultimately, mate, nothing. It's actually flaming, cooking with fire. 3 on 5 now. mousesports double AWP, MP9 for Frozen. Can they keep this game alive?
Oh, Woxic's so blind as well in the corner. Boomich has even gotten out through middle. This is just a cut off a rotate and nothing more. Rops is ready for it, though. Won't fall for that trickery. Woxic wants to get aggressive as this smoke fades. Electronic turns around, but he sees the barrel and gives it all away. Frozen flashing through the smoke, but he doubles back, and probably rightly so, because there are 2 players on the right side waiting for his cross. Simple being one of them. The spray is good for Frozen, but the Molotov is better. It's going to push him back and keep mousesports out of this site for seconds longer.
It's the positioning of Flamey, you know, like being down in the pit, able to hold the cross that causes problems. Electronics at short. Every peak that mousesports try and take, they're going to have at least 2 guns trained in on them. Electronic can just wait as well till he hears these players having to direct their attention elsewhere. Now he swings out, and that's Flamey from down in the pit to lock it in for NaVi. They take this series 2-1. Nuke might have been a slow start, but then they hit the ground running on Train and here on Dust as well. We see what we want to from the NaVi boys. They get this one done. And for mousesports, it's back to the drawing board. Stick around, we'll be back to our drawing board after a quick break, so don't you go anywhere.
Let's take our time right now, it's just a vibe with you. I feel alive, now I'm feeling like up to the front, really stand the test of time right now. I need a sign. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we go closer? Should this be over? My heart for your mind, maybe we should start over. Tell me if it's over, am I your lover? Are we going solo? Or is it pull up, but fast it's saying over? I'm acting like I don't know. Whisper my name, say what you want, show me your touch. I do the same, my bread ain't it, but I still curse. Feelings ain't good, it's still the same. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we go closer? Should this be over? My heart for your mind, probably we should start over. Tell me if it's over, am I your lover? Are we going solo? Or is it pull up, but fast it's saying over? I'm acting like I don't know. Tell me if it's over, come a little closer. We should take our time to think this damn thing over. Should we go closer? Should this be over? My heart for your mind, probably we should start over. Will you follow me under when I'm crumbling? Every night I wonder, will it ever end? Sometimes I can barely breathe, dear. Sometimes I don't wanna be here. Sometimes I don't wanna be here.
Welcome back to ESL One Cologne and your Mountain Dew Game Fuel post-match. And it is just, well, that's all she wrote, to quote a great man called Rosanna Rampus, 2-1 to NaVi. And mousesports, yet again,
unable to succeed on Dust 2, Hugo.
Yeah, it's kind of what we expected, right? Both teams pick up the maps that they really should be picking up if we have history to go off in this series. And then Dust 2, I mean, when we saw that come through as a third, it was always a worry. We know what NaVi are like. We saw them back at Katowice dominating on that map, and nothing's really changed since. So, yeah, it's good to see NaVi back in full form. You know, it's still, despite our conversation prior to the game about, you know, players taking breaks and whether that would affect individual performance, for at least someone like Rops, who you can see on your screen now, that didn't. He looked better than ever.
Yeah, you know, and it's quite fair. You know, these were the two players that we said we should be keeping an eye on, and then there they are. Right? They both stepped up in their squads, and we had some real good moments from the two of them. I'm very, very happy. Simple went throughout that best of three, just going from strength to strength. It felt like, right, a slow start on Nuke, built into a big performance on Train, and then culminating when it mattered most over here on Dust. He was stepping up every single step of the way.
But would you say that's because on Nuke Simple just wasn't being visited by our
Yeah, it felt like they were dodging him a lot, didn't it? And, you know, that's kind of like credit to Mouse. They were doing a very good job of, like, leaving things uncertain and making NaVi second-guess themselves. And I think, you know, that's something that you have to keep doing versus a team like NaVi. The moment you let them even get comfortable for a few rounds, it's like they're a whole different beast altogether. And, you know, even then, like, even when the calls aren't there for NaVi, you've got the individuals who can step up and make a real difference. So they're a very, very deadly team. And I think for mousesports, the moment Train started to slip away, it felt like that should have been the unraveling, and it was.
Well, it's time for your Mountain Dew Game Fuel post-match interview with an individual who really made a difference on Dust 2. I am, of course, talking about Flamey. He should be joining us now from Kiev. Privyet, Flamey, how you doing?
Hello. I'm doing good. Just won, and we're happy.
And you've got the team around you in Kiev. Do you think that made an impact on your performance today as opposed to playing at home in Moscow?
Yeah, I think it's for sure gave us some impact because it's like the same like we always did before on bootcamp. We always talk with psychologists, with coach. We are together, we see each other, we see what each other is doing, and it's of course a better atmosphere when we are together.
Flamey, I don't know if this is Blade in the background already doing the post-match debrief, but I can hear someone more than I can hear you. Are you brave enough to be like, Blade, excuse me, I'm doing an interview here?
Boomich is doing the interview.
Oh, it's Boomich. Well, you tell Boomich if he doesn't, he's going to have to do the interview. Flamey, I want to quickly ask you about this discipline that we saw from the NaVi side, particularly on your CT side. Beautiful, just waiting for Mouse to come into your crosshairs. Is that something we're going to see for every team, or is it just because you respect Mouse and you know that they can beat you in a fight?
Of course, we are like preparing for each enemy the same way. Like, don't care if we play some Russian team or some top team like mousesports. Of course, we didn't know what they will show to us, you know, because it was player break, and then after they had some like 20 days, the same as us. So we just played our game, and we didn't anti-strat them, you know, we just played our game.
Flamey, I want to know, how do you guys approach the boot camp and then also like the player break? Like, what was the schedule like there? How much were you guys playing, and what were you focusing on improving?
Yeah, during the player break, I guess like no one really went to some vacation, you know. We were just in our home country and like just visit some city in Moscow, in Russia. And after this, we wanted to went back to training like 27, but then like 4 of us ill, like one by one, you know, and it was like 1 week without practice, but we know that we will have bootcamp, so we practice like 1 week before, and then we are here already from 8.
Well, Flamey, thank you so much for talking to us. Hopefully we're going to see an interview that you and I did last week later in the week, so we'll be able to hear a bit more about what the guys have been up to at boot camp, because that's all we've got time for right now, and that's all we've got time for from us three, because after this break, bringing us G2 versus MIBR, it's going to be Pansy, Machine and Sponge.
Gamer Days is on now. Whether you're looking to buy or build, now is a great time to upgrade. Get limited time offers and giveaways from top names in PC gaming. Unleash elite gaming performance with systems featuring new 10th gen Intel Core processors and bring Marvel's Avengers to life with in-game optimizations for a mightier PC experience. Act now. Intel Gamer Days is only here for a limited time.
If you want to know what you're good at and, well, also what you suck at, check out CSgoHub.com. Coming!
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?